What's up, baby?
Turkey killing mofos. Hey, you a professional now.
You got her? Heck yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
Storytelling in regards to hunting and fishing has gone back hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
Literally on the rock walls of our nation.
Push it.
Yes, sir.
What you doing, Brandon?
Go. By the way, your nipples are already wet.
I just shot probably one of the most epic scenes, like, probably ever. These two monster bugs got after it, and it was so cool.
That's about like what you want it to look like. Cover it.
Oh, he's so handsome.
That's a big deer, Megs.
He's big. He's a big boy. That's talking whitetail.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Holy crap.
Look at those hooves.
Everybody wants to be a turkey hunter until it's time to do turkey hunters.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Dog? I was getting ready to text you. And I was like, hey, I'm on here.
Oh, you know.
Hello. Anybody home?
So I got you.
Dude, look at your backdrop, bro. What is that black flag right there?
That is.
Oh, yes.
Montana
I remember
Nikon.
seeing that now. Yes. Dude, that is sick.
Yeah. So that is I ordered this was like one of the first runs
Yes,
of
sir.
this. It was like the Blood Brothers thing that they do. And this was like the first thing that they came out with because they usually like do a knife and then they'll do like some kind of like swag piece or something. And they did these flags. And I was like, dude, that bear skull, like that's bears high on my list to go hunt. With hounds, I want to shoot one with a bow. I want to shoot one like at 600 something yards with a rifle.
I missed my opportunity in Arizona,
bears.
so dude, that's another story. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I was like, dude, I gotta get that flag. And then I bought some of their knives. I listened to Josh Smith's his story and how he got started with that whole business and everything. And I thought it was pretty cool how he came from, being a lineman and then like being one of the youngest master bladesmiths ever to exist and all that kind of stuff. And I bought some of their knives, used them, loved them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're awesome. Like I carry one of the mini speed goat every day. And then I went to my bachelor party, which we went down to Florida and shot iguanas and went tarpon fishing.
Yes,
and I went to step off on the boat, right? And they have paracord tied on it. And I usually carry it in my pocket. But when I went to step off the ladder into the boat, I caught that paracord in between my hand and my bot and the handle of the steps and pulled my knife out of the sheath. And then when I moved my hand to step into the boat, it said ding, ding, ding into the water. And I was like, dude, like I can't lose this knife because I mean they're not cheap. And I mean I get it, but they're not cheap. And I was like, I can't lose this knife. And I asked the guide, I was like, hey man, how deep is it right here? He's like, it's like 9 feet. And I'm like, oh, we grew up on the lake, that's cake all day. So like I went down and tried to get it, but I couldn't find it, man. And my buddies are all making fun of me, like videoing me and everything. And I posted it on Instagram and, just as like, hey man, just guys like, tie your paracord up a little tight so you don't catch it. Right. And Brandon, which is, I think his name is Haracho. I think I'm saying it right. Maybe not. But he's the head of marketing there, and he commented on it. And he was like, hey, man, send me a message. And I sent him a message. He's like, hey, anybody that's going to dive off in the water like that to go find one of our knives, we'll send you a new one. And I was like, dude, that's like, it's like, I'll buy another one. And he was like, no, we're going to send you a new one. They sent me a new knife. and then like a hat and some stickers and stuff like that. And then ever since then, I was like, they didn't have to do that, but like I'm Montana Company all the way. Like
Heck
anytime
man,
they come out with a
awesome,
new
dude.
knife, if I can pick it up,
You
I'm
gotta
gonna
have
try and
customer
pick it up.
service these days, you know. They didn't have to do that, but it showed your
I mean, like
I guess you could call it your loyalty to them. Like, hey man, that's a badass knife. I'm going down. I'm going down.
yeah. Exactly. I'm at least gonna try. Like, I'm not just gonna sit off on the boat and act like, well, I'll just get another one. Like, no. Like, and to tell you the truth, we're probably gonna go fishing with that same guide again. I'm like, man, I know storms and stuff happen, but I might drop a magnet down there and see if I can pick it up. Exactly. But no, that's that flag, and then that's my wife, my nice company, Bar MC Media, that we started, and then this one came from a guy, Brocco. He made rattling horns, and then he came out with this flag too, and I was like, something I thought it was pretty cool, the rut flag, you know, old buck chasing the doe.
It looks like I'm lagging on my end for the video. Does it look flawless on your end?
Yeah, it looks good, and it records natively, so it stands like even though it may lag a little bit, like while we're viewing it, it's recording it pretty smooth. I mean, unless it like even if it like cuts out a little bit, it'll still be good to go.
Okay,
it's this platform's pretty cool. No problem. I like this platform's pretty cool. Not knock on wood. It's saved me a couple times where I've like thought I've lost footage and it wound up being saved, and then we can upload it later on. But it works out pretty good. I like it.
Big dog.
Got you back in there.
The wife, she ching-a-laid me on that one. We're gonna blame it on her. So clearly I have an outlet in the house that doesn't work. That's kind of scary, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's happened before, man.
Yes.
Even for me, like my biggest thing is because like I'll edit too, like my headphones. My headphones being dead. That's my thing. Like all the time when I'm like going to grab them to like plug them in, and I'm like, oh shit. But usually, if it's not charged or whatever, I'll have my like I got a little power bank thing that I can plug in on one side, and then have this plugged in on the other, and then we're ready to rock. But no, man, that started out pretty good. But no, we got it going, and but I'll do a little intro here, and then we'll get into the podcast, man.
Send it, Bubba. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Tejas Hunt Club Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon McDowell, and today I get to sit down with a longtime Instagram friend of mine.
Yes, sir.
The solo hunter himself, Jeremy, and we're gonna have a conversation that's long overdue. Man, we like a lot of the same things: hunting, fishing, shooting guns. You know, our country. Texas,
America,
everything. So I'm glad to have this conversation with him because we're going to get into a few different topics tonight, like I said. But I really want to start off because it's jumping off right now. I've been seeing all the videos shared by my buddy Trey at Axis Attic and everything else. Okay. But I need to hear the story first off of this monster that you just put down the other day. Or a couple weeks ago. It's one of the biggest axes I've seen for sure. Body wise, for sure.
290 pounds is what we got. And we think that the scale may have even been boogered up because he took one 3 or 4 years ago on the same ranch that went 307 or 310. I can't remember. Who cares about 3 pounds? Let's just go with 307. How about we just down to 305? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
No, man. He showed me that deer 2 years ago ish, and I chased another one last year. I took my dad to this ranch last year and on a father-son hunting trip.
Yeah.
And I need to do that again. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
You don't get them too often. Being with your dad, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and I love my dad, man. Love him big time. So, we went there last year, and I went after Mr. Slicks, and I wound up getting him this year, like a month and a half, 2 months ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And just so happened that Kendall was like, "Oh, just so you know, I found his sheds from the first year that you were supposed to hunt him."
Yeah.
And they just happen to be sitting right here. He's a hammer, dude, in his own right. He was probably like 13 years old. This straight up big old spike with fronts.
Yeah.
And so I wound up getting him this year, not last year. The ones from this year look totally different. Like one's kind of backwards and one's kind of laying forward a little bit. Look very demonic. You know what I'm saying? Like look like a devil.
Yeah.
But when you get your mind made up on hunting one and you're obsessed with him, if you will, you stick to it. It'll eventually line out. It may not be that year, but you'll eventually maybe get on him next year, or, you know, if the Lord's willing, you know, to let it all go, you know, come into a line with each other. Right. So,
Yeah.
So I went back, he's like, "Hey man, here's Mr. Slicks this year." So I went and shot him, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, "Hey, old fat boy is still running around." And he just keeps, so in my phone, I got it as Kendall, my most expensive friend in my phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just pokes and pokes and pokes. "Hey, come on, let's go hunting." You know, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
shut up, fool. He knows what he's doing. He's like a used car salesman. But anyway, so we get there, and it's actually a hunt that I was helping him guide a couple other hunters on, right? And we got one of them lined out, got him one shot, and they were getting up at 3:00 the next morning to leave. So I was like, "I'm here. I'm going to go hunt Fat Boy up front," you know? So
Yeah.
went and hunted that morning. There was full of brush. I posted it all on my story or on my the post on Instagram, and it was just like this, and that was pretty much the whole lane all the way down to the feeders and stuff, right? So I got a glimpse of him. He left. Went back. Mr. John got me chainsaws. We trimmed everything, opened it way up, like big time. Came back that evening, was sitting, and lo and behold, like all I could see was legs, and just like you saw the body.
Yeah.
And
You can't miss that body.
Yeah, you can't. And then it was just like at last light. I mean, dang near in the dark. Like I sent it. Like he's smart. He was super smart, just super freaking smart. So I sent it, dude. Like it was like, I was like, yeah, that's connection. Like when you hit a body that size, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like hearing somebody hit a tree with a 2x4. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or
Exactly.
or a baseball bat, something like that. You get what I'm saying? With a 6.5 Creedmoor. Brandon's like, "Don't start that crap on my podcast."
As somebody listening is just like just hit pause or got upset because they said that
Hey man,
you shot an animal with a 6.5 Creedmoor. Oh no!
Hey,
oh no!
I've probably shot about 10 of them with it. So
Yeah,
it's all about bullet placement. It's all about bullet placement, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
I don't argue with people. I go and do what I do. And we found him. He was like 45, 50 yards away. piled up underneath a big old mesquite tree,
Mhm.
right on an old fence row that was opened up. All the barbed wire was gone. It was an old fence row that was part of I guess probably another section within that section, right? So
Yeah.
he was just like right there, and I was just like, man, what a horse. What a horse.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Brandon, let me make this very clear. I don't know hardly anything about hunting axes when it comes to the score. And now I can point out that's a mature one. That is a not mature one. Things of that nature. Does that make sense? So, like I'm looking for Brahma bulls.
Exactly.
If you can find the bodies that look like this and just dewlaps and everything else hanging, looking like eland and stuff like that, like that's to me.
That's the one.
Even whitetail, like if you're shooting anything other than, and everybody's got their own opinions about everything, man. I like shooting big mature animals, and I'll say this: I am not perfect. I have shot some young deer.
Yeah, we all have.
I think as your hunting career moves along, you start maturing with that, right?
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Hanging out with the boys down in Mexico and stuff like that. That is what really pushed over into that. Hey, man, like let's search for a big juggernaut or just a mature. No matter the score in the horns department.
Yeah.
Let's shoot a mature one. And I shot a couple down there that could have used another year, or two. But it is what it is. Living life.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a progression. I've said that on the podcast too, because like I've been around a lot of people that are newer to hunting.
Yes.
Like as far as like me pulling the trigger on a lot of animals, like I'm still pretty new at it too, right? On some things, especially like whitetail and bigger game like that. But like killed a lot of hogs, we hunt a lot of raccoons, small game, all that kind of stuff. But like a lot of newer people are, when they get into it, they're like, well, how do I get as good as this? Or like they'll ask questions like, how do I like score an aged deer? I'm like, you need to look at deer. Like that's the only way that I can tell you. You can do it. You can learn how to age and score pretty quick, but the amount of deer that you need to look at to do that quickly is a lot. And that's really what it takes. And just learning those newer things, because like we guide on those adult mentored hunts with TWA and Stewards of the Wild, and a lot of those people are in their late 20s, early 30s. Some of them were in their 40s, and they're hunting for the first time, and they're wanting to go do this by themselves, but they also understand that there's a lot of things they got to learn. And like just hearing those questions and being like, well, you're going to have to just dive into it for a little while to kind of get your bearings. Like, I mean, I always tell them about aging and scoring deer. I'm like, how many pages on Instagram do you follow like that post whitetail deer? Look at the pictures and look at the characteristics, especially if you can get on some of these ranches, that have like great deer photos and videos and stuff. And you can train yourself on doing it that way. And you don't have to be out in the field. I mean, you have to take into consideration angles, and it's not, you don't have the full picture, but it can give you a good starting point for sure.
I'll even piggyback off of that. Especially if you have your own lease or your own ranch that you own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just, especially if you're on there 2, 3, 5 years, pay attention to that 8 point, that 10 point. There's going to be some sort of birthmark. We all have a birthmark on us. I bet you do.
Yeah.
Right? Animals do too. I believe you're going to find something about that buck or doe that is going to let you know next year, Lord willing, that Mother Nature doesn't take that from you, right? So when that deer grows back, it's next year's horns, you're going to be able to tell, oh man, that's old split G2 buck or whatever it may be, right? Like,
yeah.
And where I'm going at with this is just history. You had him 3 years ago at 3 years old. Here he is with still split G2s.
Yeah.
That's 6 years old.
Just a little bit bigger, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt that he probably would be, right?
Yeah.
He's for sure not going to keep the same 3-year-old rack.
Yeah.
Let's just hope that you're pouring the feed to him.
Right.
So, but history is always good. And then that way, dude, you sit up there in your blind and you just start snapping pictures and video. Go back and do your own homework and send it to your buddies. Hey, Brandon, what do you think about this?
Yeah. That's a good way to learn for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Pass it around to the boys and to other people that have a lot of knowledge in it and see what they think. It never. Hey, the deer's still alive.
Right.
It ain't dead. Hey, man, look at this dead deer. What do you think the age is on it? It doesn't matter. It's dead.
Yeah, it's the oldest it's ever going to be.
Yep. You can't get that bullet back.
No, sir. Well, Jeremy, with that, like, how did you get into hunting, man? I know you said that you liked hunting with your dad. Is he the one that got you started when you were young?
100%, absolutely. It was all my dad. Like, that's all every weekend we went to. I'm from the Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana area, and you ever heard of Louisiana Downs, the horse track?
Yeah, I have.
That's right on the borderline of basically Bossier City and Houghton, Haughton, Houghton city limits right there, and so I kind of use that as a reference. And
okay,
yeah. So from that area, like, we went south about an hour down into Bienville Parish, and we had a deer camp down there that my mama and papa had. And we went down there every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and went off into the public land. And it's actually some man. It's been so long, dude. I forgot the names of the forest. It's like Indian stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'll try to remember it, and I'll come back to it if I remember. But anyway, so long story short, we would go there every weekend, and we had the camp house. It was all right there on the little lake that's in that one of the little lakes that are in that area. There's a lot of little big small lakes, like 300-400 acre lakes, which that's big, but it's not very big as well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we would just go every weekend, man. Like, it took me forever to kill my first deer. I think I didn't kill my first deer until I was 15, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a nice 8-point. It's actually, I still got it. It's still mounted, but it needs to be remounted.
Yeah, I got you.
That was back in, that was in 92. Back in 92. Yeah.
I was one.
No, I shot one before then. My bad. I shot a little 6-point, right down the road from the house where I used to live with my dad up there.
I got you. I was saying 92. I was about to, depending on what time of deer season you shot it, I was either 1 or 11 months.
You make me feel old, bro. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, because I was born in 1991. But I always liked it too because my birthday is November 1st.
Yes, sir.
So it's like it's always just in the middle of hunting season. Like I love it. Like this year is actually the opening day of rifle is on my birthday this year, so that'll be pretty cool.
Nice.
So I'm definitely gonna try and be out hunting. May not be with a rifle, may be with a bow, but I'm definitely gonna try and go hunting this year for my birthday.
Absolutely, you should. So back in when we were at the deer camp, or whatever, over there in Bienville, we would go and squirrel hunt, just slip down through the Spring Creek fed bottoms and stuff. And it was just beautiful. Like, dip your hand off in the water and start drinking cold spring fed water. It's so good.
Yeah,
bro. So good. But that's Dad. Yes. To answer your question. Yeah. Dad is the reason for this, man. He shot a hammer of a 6-point. I don't know what it scores, but it's on my page, man. You can go back and look at that. I think he was like 22 inches wide, I think. big 6 point, just and a beautiful dude. White horn, man, just beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Dude, that's cool. Like deer like that, like some people might be like, oh, it doesn't score anything. I'm like, dude, that deer looks cool. That's all that matters.
That's
like to me, that deer looks cool. And he's old and he looks cool. That takes it for me.
100%. The score and stuff, that's just all that's like the little bonus stuff, right? You know,
yeah.
The whatever. We all
the icing and the sprinkles.
Yeah, the little sprinkles. Yeah, the little Salt Bay action. But yeah, Dad is the reason for me getting into hunting for sure. You know, my mom and Dad went through the whole splitting up thing and yada yada. And I think when I was about 10, 11 years old ish.
Yeah.
Mom goes, "Who do you want to live with?" So I want to go live with Dad. Word for word. I want to go hunt and fish. I want to be out there. Yeah. She's like, "Okay, it's your choice." Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So, and that was from down here in south of Houston, over here in LaPorte. That's where we were at that time. And
yeah. And then you moved to Louisiana.
I moved back. Yeah, I moved in with my dad and my stepmom. Yeah.
I got you. So going from there, you know, you grew up hunting, and obviously it's carried on. Did you get to hunt like even through like growing up high school and like going to work? Like where's the story take you, I guess?
Well, I mean, I graduated and I was on a highway to hell up there, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no problems. Like, I told it on another podcast a few weeks ago, about a month and a half, actually about 5 weeks ago ish. And I'm gonna sling it out. You ready?
All right. So I'm ready.
Only God can judge me. That's all.
Right.
Like I said, I ain't perfect. Never claimed to be. But I was just up there on the highway to hell, dude. Like, all that's up there is gang banging, drugs, you name it. And I got sucked into it and started peddling some dope, and my sister ratted me out. Yeah. That's fine. Maybe that's what it took.
Yeah.
Mama called me and said, "You get your ass in your car and you move down here right now, or you don't have a mother." And I was like, "I'm packing my stuff up. I'm heading that way." And I did. I left that day immediately.
Yeah.
I left. And that was it. It was in the rearview mirror. We're going to Houston. So
yeah, I mean that's a good decision, and I mean, like you said, your sister ratted you out per se, but it kept you from, you know, going down further down a path that's not good.
Yeah,
and it's led you to where you are now. So
yep.
Yeah, that's kudos to your sister, and kudos to your mom for sure for
laying it down. Hey,
yeah. I mean, and there's plenty of people that could have been, you know, I feel like too, like maybe their parents wouldn't have took it that way.
Yeah.
And then she'd have just been like, right off the bat, I'm sure, like, instead of saying, "Hey, let me help you get out of that situation," it's like, well, you're in this, you're on your own kind of deal. And I feel like, you know, people obviously probably keep going down the road they're going, and their parents don't try to help them out of the situation.
Yep, exactly.
Or other family members as well.
Brandon, I'm thankful for it, because it was it could have ended very badly. It could have.
Yeah.
And that was back then. Could you imagine what it's like these days?
Yeah,
bro.
I could.
Let me tell you something. My cousins are marshals up there. They deal with shootings every day over that crap.
Oh yeah.
They bang down doors every day.
A lot of people don't see Louisiana as what Louisiana is. I mean, I love Louisiana. Don't get me wrong. I like it's an outdoorsman's paradise, and even like with even
that's what it's called, sportsman's paradise, right?
Yeah, the sportsman's paradise. That's what it is. Because I mean, even with Mr. Robertson, you know, R.I.P. to him. He just passed away, a great man from Louisiana.
Absolutely.
But like that place is beautiful.
Beautiful.
but some parts of it are just
I'm gonna tell you right now, stay out of that city. Stay out. It is so bad. And it's a shame that I have to sit here and tell the masses, your followers, to stay out of there, man, because it's bad.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
I've seen video recordings of these kids getting out at big 4-way intersections, 4 lights. I'm talking a huge intersection, and just spraying them down with them seared Glocks.
Yeah.
Not a care in the world for any other civilian. It's a shame. But anyway.
It is. Yeah, but it's real easy, like you said, for then, like for you to go down that road but get out of it. But like you said, nowadays it's sad to see, sad to watch. And I mean, I wish you could do something about it. There's a lot of things I think that could be done, but you know, who are we, right?
Me and you ain't.
Yeah, we're not the ones that can actually
sir,
do anything.
We have zero skin in that game.
Exactly. So when you moved back to Houston, was hunting still a big part, or did you kind of have to like put it on hiatus to kind of get your bearings to what you were going to do next?
Oh yeah, I enrolled in San Jack College, and boy howdy, that worked out like a champ. I couldn't even get to class, bro. I was too busy chasing ducks and geese.
Yeah,
dude,
back in
down there. I met this guy over here at Marburger Sporting Goods Store in Seabrook. His name is Tab. And man, me and him were like 2 peas in a pod. We were mad at him, bro. Like we were mad, dude. We hammered on them ducks and geese. Hammered them day in and day out. I ain't playing. Like that's all we did. We would run from refuge to refuge, doing our homework. I bought or got on a day lease thing, and man, I was just putting in the drive time, man. I was just, you do your homework, boys and girls, it'll pay off. You better do your homework though. Get in the boat, drive, find them. And this was back in 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. Like we lit them on fire, dude. Like that was in the good old days when you could go east or west of Houston on I-10.
Yeah.
And it looked like Colorado because of all the snow on the ground. Yeah. Like that, the good old, you ain't finding that these days.
No. I hear we were part of the Ranching and Wildlife Committee for the Houston Rodeo.
Yes, sir.
Meagan and I for quite a few years. Her longer than me, but we were in it for a long time. And some of those guys that were on that committee would tell stories about the duck hunting, because most of them were waterfowl guys being around Houston. Yep. Like for me, like you in Goliad, like where we grew up, like you heard about guys that hunted ducks, but like that was not what was cool to do that far west on 59, you know?
Yep.
So like we heard about the guys, you know, usually start about Wharton, and then the further east you get Columbus and stuff, you hear about guys hunting ducks. But like some of the stories that they told while we were at, you know, events and stuff about them hunting ducks and how good it was, like in that area. It was because the Katy Prairie there, and all the crops and everything else that were growing there that are now filled with, you know, subdivisions. But all of that was just a huge stop off for a lot of those ducks. Like they said, they were like from the Central Flyway, of course, but it pulled ducks from a lot of different places.
Yep. You know they fly right over that whole, because there's, like you said, it's all houses.
Yeah.
They come down, they hit the coast for a day or two, and they go straight to Mexico. Every one of them.
Yeah, now I feel bad for those guys that are like those diehard duck hunters, because I mean I got a couple buddies that guide along the coast, and then there's a couple other people that I follow on Instagram, of course. But like, man, it's to be on the coast of Texas and be a duck hunter.
Yeah,
like you got to be a different breed, because you are working your ass off for crumbs, essentially. essentially. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I really do feel for those guys because I mean, you're working for it.
If you don't go do your homework, you are not going to pay the bills.
No. Like it's rough out there for those duck hunters. I think that's a big part of it is not as much crops as it used to be there.
There's not. And man, I tell you what, man, I just wish this generation would wake up and find that trade about being a farmer and picking it up from their dad or their grandfather or whatever to get that stuff back going, man. Like that's what I would love to see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a trade that's going away and for multiple reasons, obviously, but like it's just getting eaten up by more houses and more stuff. I mean, there's people got to have a place to live. I get it. But like at some point there's going to have to be like, hey, we're just like we have national parks and all this kind of stuff. There needs to be a designation for like, hey, this is farmland and this is what we need for us to survive for these people in these houses over here. Like if we keep going away, like what are we going to do?
Yeah. Where's the rice going to come from? Oh, I know where they're going to 3D print it.
Yeah. We'll be 3D print.
I didn't mean to say that out loud. My bad.
Yeah, we'll 3D print rice. That's funny.
Hey man, they already doing it. Just saying.
Yeah. So like I grew up an ag kid. Like I was in FFA, I was in 4-H, I did all that kind of stuff. So like I for me, I think of myself having somewhat of an education when it comes to agriculture and the things going on. Like there's a long time that I used to watch like RDTV and watch the market report like every morning where like I could tell you where commodities were and like everything else. And like that was, I just like watching it. It was better than anything else that was on TV at that time of morning. But yeah, that was like when I was in college and I had to get up for class and stuff. But like, there's going to be some point where, you know, we're going to have to make a change for sure. Cause you know, farming out our food is not a good thing to other places.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. I think you worded it very well too. Like at some point there's got to be a line drawn in the sand that says, hey, you ain't getting this.
Mm-hmm.
This field right here is going to help feed you and a bunch of other families. You ain't getting it.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, money's the root of all evil. We all have a price. Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true.
It's how stubborn are you going to be? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The more zeros get on that check, it starts looking better and better. I think that's the biggest the biggest problem right now is like, you know, you have like people that kids and like, you know, kids and grandkids that are inheriting the land and they're looking at that check like, hey man, like I've got some credit card debt I can knock out and there's 3 of us and we're all getting a pretty big chunk if we just go ahead and sell, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think that's the biggest thing that's taking these bigger places and shrinking them down and selling them off to, you know, subdivisions and stuff like that is like, I mean, shoot, even people that are, you know, going through a hard time or something and like this could be their way out. Like not just from negligence, but just from life and, you know, yes, like, you know, it's sad to say like somebody passing away in their family, but they inherit something that can get them out of a situation that they don't want to be in anymore. Like it's a tough decision to make. I'm sure.
100%. I couldn't even fathom being in that position and having to go, hey, Miss Murray, they're offering us a bunch of millions to, what do you,
yeah, that's a tough decision right there. Like, what are you going to do with the land versus, you know, getting this money?
Yeah.
But, you know, it'll happen. We'll see how it goes.
One day at a time, 1 year at a time, my man. Like it is what it is. Me and you ain't changing
it. No, not yet, at least.
No.
But
Yeah, man. We chased ducks and geese for a long time. I did my duty to save the tundra. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because we shot thousands of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I did the very best. And then, dude, I was just like, man, I'm tired of chasing these things, man. I was crawling around in the marsh of McFadden and Anahuac on my hands and knees, crawling through, because that ain't nothing but marsh water and cow piss and crap. Just mosquitoes just eating you, dude. Like, we're crawling through it hands and knees and creeping them and doing everything that we could to save the tundra, because
Yeah.
to save the land, you know what I mean? But we killed a bunch of them, dude. But it was fun. Lots of memories. Way before doing selfies in the field underneath some geese and stuff like that. And, it was all, dude, I had my, the little disposable camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we operated back then. Hey, memories, dude. Like I said, get them pictures, man, while you can. You never know.
Oh yeah.
You never know when it's going to end. But we
Dude, I can imagine the excitement of y'all like taking them to Walgreens and getting them developed and being like, "Oh, dude, let's see if that picture's made out of us out there," and then seeing it again, dude. I can imagine, dude. I can imagine.
It was so funny. We were like, "We're going to Walmart. Let's go." We're gonna get that 1 hour deal done. We're gonna pay an extra.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Once we got around to like, man, we're done doing ducks and geese, and you can kind of see about that time, 2005. We just said we're done. And then Tab, he's like, hey man, let's get on the deer lease to go. So I didn't even know nothing about it, dude. To be honest with you, I had no idea about a deer lease in Texas because I'm from Louisiana.
Yeah,
that's it. So we got on that bandwagon, and he got me, right back into bow hunting. I did it in Louisiana, of course. No success there because that's like hunting the piney woods of East Texas, man. You see a deer, you better start slinging some stuff downrange.
Right.
So did the whole lease thing with him or whatever. And I know you're familiar, maybe not, TexasBowhunter.com.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I was on that for a hot minute there as well too, blah, blah, blah. And a dude on there was like, hey man, like, you want to go to Mexico with me? And I was like, what's in Mexico? And he's like, deer hunt. And I was like, what? There's deer in Mexico? Again, let me tell you, I didn't know anything about deer hunting Texas, much less across the river. I was like, what are you talking about? So I loaded up, man. I was like, then this was when the cartel was heavy, bro, back in 11 and 12. Yeah.
I think that's really what I think I started following you from was like when you were posting about going down there. And of course, I think it was like probably like 13 or 14 maybe when I started following you.
Was it?
I think.
No, I don't think.
Maybe.
Brandon, I don't mean to cut you off. I truly think that I didn't get on Instagram until 15 or 16. So it
might have been then.
I think you started following me immediately, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It was pretty fast, and we've always chatted or like whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
On the DM side, right? But man, I went down there and people are like on Texas Bowhunter because we used to do the Mexico live threads on there, because that was the cool thing to do back in the days. Like, and I was a big poster. Like, I'd post all the time. Basically, it was a live hunt. Like, I'm taking Brandon along for the ride, and whoever's watching, like, you're going to get to read and look at the pictures and little video clips or whatever. And I used to, upload videos to my YouTube channel and all that stuff. And there's still some cool videos, dude. And that's a whole nother story too. But we had a really, really good time down there, man. Like it's the Wild West, man. It was, there's a lot of good times down there. That is for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Out of the many, many trips that I crossed the river, I've only gotten into one pickle. 2 pickles, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want me to get into them?
If you want to, I'm not gonna pry, but like to me, man, like it's hunting is one thing, right? But I'm definitely like when you go to a place, but it's like not that you want stuff to happen. Obviously, you want the safest trip possible. You don't want to get into that realm, but I think there's such an element like that regular everyday people would think it's like it's cooler or like see a different side of, you know, hey, we're just out here to hunt deer, and it's not just we're out here just shooting stuff, right? Like there's other factors and things that go along on a hunt that you have to be aware of, and there's different skills like talking to people for one, that can get you in and out of situations, and it's just like a different element that most people don't think of when they think of going on a hunting trip. Now, maybe when you add in Mexico to it, they might think it's a possibility, but you don't really hear about it firsthand or real knowledge. You hear third hand of something that happened, you know, somebody's cousin's uncle, brother's something, and you get part of the story and part of the truth.
It's a very tight-knit community down there. And there's a lot of stuff that happens, but it just never gets talked about because they're tight-lipped. Yeah. They're tight-lipped. They so tight when they walk, they squeak.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll give you one. I'm still here. I'm alive. I got all my fingers and my head still connected. You know?
Exactly.
This was I had flat tires on my trailer, so I was taking the tires out on the highway to get my tires fixed so I could get my trailer back moving. And when I say trailer, a flat boy, a flatbed trailer, right? Because I was moving some feeders and stuff. So me and Anselmo and my stepson was with me, Baron, and we went out the front gate, and we were on the inside of the big checkpoint on the Monterey, okay, where you have to have a visa, or I'm sorry, you got your passport. Yeah, you got to have a visa, right? Where you can be past the certain mile marker inside, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't have one. I had my passport, but I didn't have my permission slip visa to be past that checkpoint. The lease lays out where I can go in from the other side, but I can go out this side and be on the negative, right?
Yep.
And Selma's cousin owns a tire shop just right as you cross underneath the checkpoint area.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, it's right there. Didn't see, you can go and north, cut across the median and stuff and go over to the southbound lane. You can see if there's any pop-up checkpoints. You feel me? Wink, wink.
Yeah.
With the blue guys, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing. And we were there about an hour or so getting the tire fixed, blah, blah, blah. And loaded up, started coming south. And it's only like not even a mile. It's probably like more like a half to 3/4. And dude, we were behind an 18-wheeler, and all of a sudden out jumps a Fed, and the blue lights come on, and I'm just like, here we go. So Baron was on the back seat, and Selma was in the front. I rolled down my window. Old Fed boy spoke pretty daggum good English. We pulled over, and man, he was like, basically, where's your visa? And I was like, I just got my passport. I ain't got no visa. He was like, oh, looks like you're going to be taking a ride with me. And boy, I ain't going to lie. I have no reason to lie. I started bawling, bro. Like a bitch, dog. I was like, man, I ain't coming back, dog. I was like, man, this is bad, dude. Like, I wouldn't like bawling like, bah.
Yeah.
I was just like,
but like you
dude,
knew
like,
that you were in a spot and it wasn't good. Yeah. Yeah.
my son is on the back seat, dog, and he's only like 13.
Yeah.
This is not good, man. And I was just like, so they told Anselmo to get out of the truck. They told him to sit the F down in the bed of the truck. And I'm like, Anselmo, I was like, help your boy out here, man, something. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't say nothing. So they started coming up. They wanted me to pop the hood. That's when I had my big Dodge Mega Cab, my big truck, you know?
Yeah.
Full drive. And, you know, them boys down there, like, they like those trucks.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, pop the hood. We want to see this engine. And I was like, man, I knew this was going to end bad. I knew it. And they were looking it over because they like them big engines, boy. They can haul a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, man, what do you need? What do you need me to do? And I just kind of threw my hands up, like, what's this going to take? And I always have a decent looking amount in my front pocket at the ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you better not come out with no $20 or $30 either. You better look.
That's an insult,
bro. You better make it look legit, dude. Like, I reached in and I was like, 140, 120, 140 bucks, something like that. Like, that's not a lot, dude. Like, let's just be honest. Like, that's not a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's better than 20.
Mm-hmm.
So, he went and talked to his boss. And his boss, I saw it in the rearview mirror. He goes, just let him go. So he comes back to me and he hustles me personally, not for the boss. I was like,
but for him,
I was like, I'm thinking to myself, boy, you a mother trucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. He wanted to get his piece too.
Yeah. He goes, hey man, my boss, he got his mistresses and stuff. I was just like, I'm gonna have to give him something. Like, I was like, here, man. This dude leans toward my window, opens up his vest, and puts it in and leans back. I was like, bro,
you want to see him reaching for it.
Dude, they don't care. They some shanking mother truckers down there, bro. They have.
Oh yeah.
They don't care. They don't care.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like, get out of here, and I was like, I black smoked the shit out of that truck.
Yeah, leave it, head it back,
bro. I'm burning rubber, bro. So that was it, man. The other one is a little bit more crazier, but I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'll make you margarita one night, and I'll tell you that one.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, but hey,
I'm still here.
I'm still. Hey, they're all attached.
Yeah, I was listening to guys at Go Hunt. They go to Mexico. I know Lorenzo, the owner, was going down there for a while, and they were hunting coos deer and that kind of stuff down there. But he was talking about how they had a lease, and it was like getting that permit to drive. But like, if you're every story that they've told about it, kind of like when something wrong is, it's always been on the highway. It's always on the highway. Like, if you could just, like you said, just get to where you're going. And then get to where you need to be, and be on the ranch. Most of the time, that road is where it's gonna be shady. We've
come across them on the dirt roads too. Yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
The how comes the lookouts.
Yeah, and
bro, we were trying to get a phone signal one day, and all of a sudden, dude, their home dude just pops up at my window, and I'm like, where the you come from, bro? Dude.
Yeah.
I'm fucking fistful of radios and walkie-talkies, and I'm like, okay, we're gone.
Yeah, we'll move out of this spot. We don't need to be here no more.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to camp. Yeah.
Exactly. But I've always talked to Megan about it too, because she knows, like, I've been on a mule deer hunt once. We went to Idaho, but elk are cool. I love them. I want to go hunt them. Yes. But there's something about mule deer to me
Yep.
And especially like desert mule deer. Like when you see them deer in between them cactus and all that kind of stuff, like, oh, dude, like I want to go to Mexico so bad and hunt them down there. And I want to hunt whitetails down there too, because I think that's cool seeing some of those darker chocolate horn bucks.
They're just like South Texas, the native South Texas. They're the exact same way right across the river, my man.
Yeah,
right across they're identical, dude. Man, like all the ranches that I've hunted, they got them, and there's something very majestic about as soon as you cross that river.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you the It gets, there's just something about it. I'm not gonna. It's a cool place, man. It really is.
Oh yeah,
it really
I
is.
mean, I like it too because it's like you said, it's just like South Texas, and I mean that's where I grew up, and then the history of it too, kind of to me is real cool because we used to be a part of Mexico and like all that kind of stuff. I'm a big Texas history person, like I love it because I grew up in Goliad, so it's like you kind of either you love that part of Goliad or you're like, I really don't care. But to me, I love the history of it and how it's tied to all that kind of stuff. And being able to hunt in places and talk about adventures and everything is real cool. So Mexico's on my list. Probably going to be a dove hunt first because that's everybody's on that Argentina kick, and I'm like, man, we just need to
they're right across the border. They're right across the border.
Right across the border, and we can go shoot tons of them. Like there's a couple of pages, like I said, I follow that ranches and stuff down there that I hopefully can get to in the next couple of years.
But we can talk about that later on at another time.
Yeah, because like shotguns for me is like that's was really my intro in the outdoors because I shot 4-H and in college and high school, all that kind of stuff. So like trap skeet like that's my jam. Like if I could go do that all the time, like shooting sporting clay contests. Like for a stretch there, like my buddies were calling me, and like every time they have, hey, we got this fundraiser. Hey, we got this fundraiser. I'm there, bro. I am there. This is my shirt size. What time do I need to be there? What range are we shooting at?
Yep. I tell you what, man. Like whenever we get a chance to hang out in a dove field, like show me something, dude. Because I'm a 50-50 guy. I'm pulling up and I'm swinging and banging, dog. That's all I'm doing. If they fall, they fall. If not, I'm laughing and having a good time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm going to have a good time regardless. But, like, for me, for a little while, I'll get, especially, like, if there's a group of guys that I go dove hunting with for the past couple years up in Lubbock. And Brandon Bredermeyer, Tim Willis, and all those guys. But, like, they're good shooters because they shot. We kind of bonded over, like, we all shot competition shotgun, and then like Tim's daughter shot and his son did too. Like, so you're shooting with like a bunch of people that can shoot.
Yes, sir.
Now, don't get me wrong, we can go hang out, and drink ranch waters and stuff, and just like shoot a couple dove in a dove field by all means.
Yep.
But like, I still like that the kind of the competition side of it, where you're like. You're shooting with some people that can shoot, and we're like hitting dove and stuff that are farther out that most people wouldn't even think about shooting. Yeah. We're trying to do stuff like that, and then of course they'll make me feel bad because I'm still shooting a 12 gauge and they're over there doing it with 20s and 28s and 410s, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, guys. I just don't have as many shotguns as y'all.
I don't. I got like 4. And they're all for dove, just hunting in general. Like 2 Benellis, an A5 Belgian Browning.
Ooh,
the old school humpback.
Yes, I'm really glad they brought those back and started making them again.
Yes,
and they're not as cool as the older school ones, but it's still cool. Like I really want to get one.
I got the old school A5 humpback. Yeah, dude. Like. The Belgium, the real deal. Yeah,
exactly. I'm a Browning guy first. Like that's what I shot competition with. I had a Synergy Classic over and under that I freaking loved, but I broke, and it's the firing pins broke, and they don't make the parts anymore because they've came out with newer models. So it's kind of going to be like just a safe queen. I still have some of my I told Megan about it. I'm probably going to do like a shadow box deal because I still have some of my medals and stuff that I won like in high school and then in college too, and kind of like I'll just put it all together with that gun because that's what I shot it with. So
dude, you should do that. That'd be cool, man.
Yeah,
it would.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then I need to pick up a new one.
Did you ever get like? I know you're a shotgunner, so did you ever yourself get into the ducks and geese thing?
No, I didn't. Nobody hunted ducks or geese near me, and like I don't know, by that time we were hunting stuff. It wasn't as good, I guess, and I mean it just wasn't something we thought about. Like we heard about it. Like of course, all of us grew up being like, man, we want to go to Arkansas, of course, and go hunt flooded timber. And we've seen those videos and all that kind of stuff. But like, as far as like going like east, I guess we didn't really have any friends that way to be able to do that.
Yeah. No, I did the Stuttgart thing a handful of times. One of those times it was a wild trip. So we damn near tore one of the bars down. That's another story. Like it just, man, it never fails. Anywhere I go and you go to a bar, like trouble follows me, dude.
Yeah, nothing good happens after 10:30.
Nope. Exactly, and that's exactly what happened. Especially when females are involved and you're an out of towner.
Oh yeah. You just boys, we're out on this one.
Yeah, I mean, hey, young and dumb and full, so
yep. But like traveling like that too is like it's on the list, but like we never, like I said, we never really duck hunted or geese hunted.
Yes,
it was more dove hunting. I've been quail hunting once, but it was definitely just more dove hunting on that end with the shotguns and stuff.
Yep.
We had some pretty good spots in Goliad.
Oh, do you?
Oh, we did back then, like the hunt stuff, buddies. But yeah. Now it's kind of like I go on that Lubbock trip. For the past couple of years, we do the Stewards of the Wild statewide dove hunt, which is usually pretty good. That one's up in Albany, North Texas.
Yes, sir.
And then right out of college, where I was still in college, because I went to my first year of college. I went to school in Kingsville, so I had some buddies from down there.
Yes, sir.
And my buddy Ryan Murphy farmed down there for a while, a few years after that, even after I moved to College Station. And we would get a big group of us from down there that went to school together and stuff, and we'd go hunt the fields that he farmed. So, I mean, we had cut sunflower, like everything. And we'd we'd rent a house down there or Airbnb or something like that, and it should be a whole weekend because we go for special white wing season.
Oh, y'all were up there slaying them.
No, dude, it was there. Like you said, there's a lot of stories from that too. Like there was one where like this field, it just started pouring on us in the middle of this field, and we were out there just shooting them in the rain still because they were still flying. And then we go to get out, and my buddy Matt Connor, he was going to drive his 4-wheeler up into the back of his truck. Well, he like hits the gas and it kind of slips because he just had those silver rails, you put up there, and then he hits the gas on it and it shoots the 4-wheeler up into the truck and busts out his back window of his truck. Oh, dude, like those trips always were just like such a good time. And what's cool is like it's Sam, Treaty Oak Revival.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Sam Canty, the lead singer of Treaty Oak Revival, was with us in that group. Like we're pretty good buddies. Like we used to go hunt, go down there on that dove hunting trip all the time, and like he was always there. So I listened I think it was the last one.
Yes, sir.
Because my buddy Bobby is the one that taught him how to play the guitar in the first place. And like was because they lived together down there in Kingsville, and I listened to him write "Ode to Bourbon" on that last dove hunting trip.
No way.
When we were down there. Oh yeah. Like Sam's a good buddy of mine. Like, and I'm real proud of him because like he started playing. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna start playing in a band," and we're like, "Oh, that's cool." He was out in West Texas working out there, and he was still coming down to hunt with us. And he had like some small shows and stuff. I went and saw him one time in Angleton. We were visiting my wife's family, and he was playing in this little bar down there. And like, I didn't tell him. I just saw it pop up on Facebook. I was like, "Oh, dude, we gotta go," because it was right there. And we showed up, and I'm like front row, like, "Go Sam," you know. And then like now he played Chili Fest, and he's playing all these festivals. I'm like, dude, this is so cool. It's cool to see like people that like do badass things like that. Like he's singing across the country now. And like when I first met Sam, if you'd have been like, Sam is going to be the lead singer of a band one day and be touring the country, I'd have been like, I don't think Sam's doing that. I really not in a bad way at all, but like I don't think Sam's doing that, man. And then to see him do it, it's been pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But those dove trips down there were oh man, I wish we could do them again. But of course, you get jobs and kids and all kind of stuff and trying to wrangle all that. But I definitely hope that we can put that group together again and do a hunt. It would be badass.
That would be cool. Holler at me.
Oh yeah. We
cool.
can do it, man.
Hey, you ever want to go hunt a field in South Texas? Holler at me.
We'll do.
Yeah. We got a little spot down there as well.
Heck yeah, man. That'd be awesome. Because I mean, like
sunflowers and Milo stacked right next to each other. So it's a good time.
Oh yeah,
good time.
Yeah.
Old Robert down there, he takes care of us. So
good deal.
He cooks for us in the field and everything, dude. Right on the tail.
Oh, dude, we used to do that too. We used to cook, bring either like we'd stop at one of the store, get fajitas or something like that, and we'd bring stuff to make dove poppers and all that. We had like the little tailgate, the bumper grill. You just put it, slide it in, and bring charcoal and stuff. Oh, dude, it was. Like I said, those trips are awesome.
Bubba, you cannot beat that.
No, dude,
you cannot beat that environment. You can't.
I think you go out west and, man, you speak about it, like, I think the best thing about hunting in Texas and even hunting in the South is like the camaraderie part of it and like the people that you get to be around versus like, I'm sure they do it a little bit out west, but to me, it's like they're more, solo hunter. I'm doing this by myself. I'm going to go call up here and call this bull in. And like the challenge of it is cool and all, but I am so glad that I grew up on the side of like deer camp and hunting camp and like dove fields and people getting together and really having that part of it be like a major thing versus obviously you want to shoot big animals. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But that whole part of just hanging out and like, being around a campfire, telling stories and like, that side of hunting is probably my favorite part of it.
Yep. You don't get. You can go do these solo things by yourself, Bubba. I would much rather do it with some buddies, family members.
Yeah.
Even a mixture of all of that, and then some strangers in camp.
Yeah.
You get to see them possibly take their first animal or whatever it may be, and you get to be a part of that experience, man. Like that's some cool stuff. That's some really cool stuff. You don't get that ever again. That would be a one-time deal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Those are the moments that I cherish. Like the one with my dad last year, like. Me and him hadn't hunted with each other since I was hunting out in Ozona in West Texas. And, man, like we had good times even there. He went with me, quite a few times down in Mexico and then he went through some, skin condition stuff, medical issue stuff.
Yeah.
And, excuse me. So he finally got around to where he could basically leave the house, if you will. And he drove down and I said, come on down. Like, I'm taking you axis hunting. He ain't never seen nothing like that. He's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
So and dude, the one he shot was homies with Mr. Slicks over here. And we went hunting the first morning Oh, no. We got there that afternoon, hunted. Actually, Kendall goes, hey, does your dad want to shoot his deer right now? And I was like, yeah. I said, Dad, you want to shoot him right now? Like we're about to pull up to the gate. He goes,
Yeah.
Because he's about 200 yards inside this big old thicket, and he's laying down right on the edge.
Yeah.
And so we tried it, and just as soon as Dad was getting up on the scope, so we went and hunted that evening, hunted the next morning, didn't see him. We were coming back in the gate, same spot, laying down. Dad smoked him 15, 20 yards outside the window of the truck, burning with the old 6.5 Creedmoor.
There you go. Another one. Another case of the 6.5 Creedmoor actually working. Yeah, actually working. Because I mean, it does. I've seen people. I've seen people miss.
Yes.
With a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yes.
And I've seen people put the bullet where it needs to go with a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Brandon, when you say miss, are you saying miss the actual spot or miss the whole animal?
I'm both. Both, if I'm being honest. But miss the spot of where you're supposed to put a bullet.
Yep.
Especially when people ask, like I've gotten to hunt axis with different people.
Yes.
And when people ask me like we're hunting this animal, like, you know, like tell me about it, especially like these mentored hunts and stuff, and I'm like, look, you have to think of an axis, like you think of it as a deer. Cool, you can think of it that way. But you have to realize that this deer has been on this planet and it is engineered to stay alive, and the main thing that chases it is a Bengal tiger.
Yep.
So I don't know if you've ever seen a Bengal tiger, but it's like I'm telling you this, like, but that is a specimen of a predator.
I put one in a chokehold one day.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm full of crap.
Yeah, that's funny, but that's what this thing is running from, right? And that's what I think makes them so cool to hunt, because they are so turned on and so smart, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't care how low you get. Yep,
you can do everything right, and it's still just the smallest little and you're done.
Yep,
and you're done. Yeah, because I mean, and they're so cool. I mean, the way they look, the way they move, them roaring, like the way they dude, just everything about hunting axis, like is the shit to me.
Yeah, it is.
They're awesome animals.
They're super cool animals. The gentleman that I was guiding with a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, before I shot that big one. He goes, "What was that?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't know what that was?" He said, "No." I was like,
"Oh, you get excited because you get to tell it."
I was like, "Oh, that's your buck roaring at you." I said, "That's an Axis buck roar." He goes, "No way." I was like, "Dude, you wait till the wee hours of the dark and you sit out here all by yourself. And when they start firing off like that, it gets kind of eerie."
Yeah.
But cool at the same time, right? So,
yeah,
man, they are a special species, you know, that, like you said, to survive the attacks of Bengal tigers and what have you.
Yeah.
They're so smart, dude.
And they taste so good.
Ooh.
So good.
So good. I'll tell you what else is good. That's them elk tenderloins, because I shot one back in late January, cow elk, down there in South Texas, and big, huge herd on that place down there. Huge herd. And $2,500, dude, go kill you a big old cow elk.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
Fill your freezer up, dude, with some goodness. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that elk tenderloin is where it's at, dude. Like, I cooked them up the other night, and me and the wife were fighting.
For that last piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I've had it. I've had it a couple times. We've been to like some wild game dinners and stuff where they've had it where people have shot an elk and then they bring it for that reason,
Yes, sir.
and then different events and stuff. But it's like elk's pretty good. I would definitely say axis and elk are at the top of the list, and then of course
I
you just
agree.
fall in with the rest of the exotics. I love the taste of whitetail,
Yep.
but there's some other things that taste a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie.
Bubba, I'm not gonna lie. Right here, right now, it's whitetail's way back there. Yeah.
It's down there, and especially like you throw in that nil guy too.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's another one that's like just
Hey, that's a story.
right there.
That's another story I got for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We had the ghetto bird called in on us on that one.
Oh man.
Yeah. We were on the Los Alamos Creek bed down there in South Texas. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
So if you go down through,
I'd have to look at it on the map again.
It's where the Kennedy and the Kings Ranch butt up to each other.
Where they come together. Yeah.
There's the creek bed that goes out to the Gulf of America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Gulf of America.
Yeah, that buddy of mine that I was duck hunting with and stuff. He's like, "Hey man, you want to go shoot a nil guy?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like this is again 96, 97. I was like, "I don't even know what you're talking about, dude." He's like, "Just come on, jump in with me and let's go. I got the rifles and everything. We're gonna go chase a nil guy. I don't know what it is."
Yeah,
they're from India. They were brought here to, I guess replace cattle or something, right? Maybe.
The King Ranch was going to try and raise them like cattle, but them suckers are wild and they don't give a damn about a fence.
Oh, exactly. So we got on this Los Alamos Creek bed, and we've already done our time for all this. We paid our fines and fees, just so you know, so nobody can run to the law. Like we already did our time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He dropped me off, and this was back when that blizzard came through. Oh, well, I forgot. You were a baby back then. You were like 5 years old.
Yeah.
He dropped me off. Like we had a little 80 4-wheeler. Me and him both were on this thing, and he dropped me off, and you could see the part of the river over here, and I'm facing toward the Gulf of America. But we're only about 2 or 3 miles from. What is that, 77 that runs south?
Yep.
Okay, I knew it was 77 or 87, something like that.
Yep.
So he drops me off, and he's like, "Hey, just be looking for." Yeah, he showed me pictures and all this stuff, right? He's like,
"Yep,
just shoot you a cow or a bull, whatever, both, whatever you see, just kill it." And he goes, "I'm gonna go down here to another spot," and he's gonna do the same thing. And it was so cold, dude. But all I could see was just hundreds and thousands of pintails, ducks flying down the creek bed there, because there was a strip of water in there where you could barely run a small shallow boat because all the tide was out because of the big northerner that blew in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, I am freezing. So I went and got on the 4-wheeler. No, I sat where he told me to sit. And he come pulling up on the 4-wheeler, and he's like, "Hey, come on. I got 2 bulls down." And I was like, "What? Dude, these are like 500-600 pound animals." He goes, "Bro," he goes, "Bro, they're huge." And I was like, "Let's go, dude. Let's ride." Went back, got the first one. We started looking for the second one. And he goes one way. I go the other way. And I'm looking. And then something goes, you can't hear nothing because of the 30, 40 mile an hour winds. It was so cold. Yeah. It was so cold. But something goes, turn around. And I turned around, and he's going. So I take off. He goes, "Shoot that cow." I was like, "Where?" He goes, "Right there." And I was like, "Oh." And I went prone, and the calf walked right in front of her. And I was like, this was back when we didn't give a crap, dude. Like, bro, we're there to kill.
Yeah.
So I burned her down right when the calf moved, and I went, wow, just dropped her. And I was like, high five, the whole 9 yards. And then about that time, I'm like, what is that sound? They come in with the ghetto bird, dude, the helicopter, man.
And found you.
We tripped some sensors or something, dude. I don't know what happened. How they knew we were there, I don't know. Clearly, there's some sensors or something. So, yeah, like they came in and they circled us. And then about 45 minutes later, like while we're still dragging on this big mother trucker, still trying to find the second one, a game warden pulls up on his or in his like little Ford or whatever it was, Chevy, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He was super nice, dude. And we were like, what's the problem? Well, you're on private property. Like, dude, there ain't no posted signs out here, bro. Like we were very polite, but that's just kind of what I'm saying, right? And it goes back to navigable waters, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these fingers and stuff
are navigable waters.
You smell what I'm cooking.
Yeah.
I'd say me and Tab were both like, this doesn't kind of seem right. Like, we can hunt, but where's the lines here? Yeah. We were like, he's like, look, this ain't the end of the world. I was like, you know what? You're right. It's not the end of the world. It's not. Like, we shot our animals. Like, we were clearly, there's no posted signs. There's no paint. There's no mark. There's nothing.
Yeah.
He wrote us a ticket, and I was like, hey, man, you want to take it? I said, I'll split it with you. Just you take it. Yeah, I'll take the whole thing. So he let us have the animals.
Yeah. Nice.
All for the whopping sum of $1,500, $750 a piece.
I mean, shit, right now, that's cheaper than any nail guy hunt you're going to get.
My man. And hey, at the end of the day, you live and learn, and you get to go through these. Would you chalk it up as a trial and tribulation? I guess is that right?
A learning experience,
a learning curve, learning experience, and I get to tell a cool story to Brandon on his Tejas podcast about it, and it was at least the game warden was very cool about it.
Yeah.
Kudos to the game warden.
Yeah, because
I don't remember his name or anything like that, but kudos to you, sir.
I'm sure he could have been, and for the most part, I've had good experiences with every game warden that I've been around. Luckily, I've always been on the up and up for what I'm doing, but like I don't know, I don't totally agree with the whole like the game wardens are out here to get us kind of deal that some people portray.
They're not.
Like they're doing a job, and if you're doing something you're not supposed to do, then it's their job to correct it. Now, you could just not do bad stuff or things that are illegal, then you don't really have to worry about it. But like for your instance, like, hey, there's a gray area here, we need to figure it out. I mean, that's kind of what they're there for. Like, sucks to get a ticket, but it is what it is. But like this whole game warden, I'm sure there's bad apples and people that abuse their power, just like in everything. But for the most part, they're not out there to make your experience any worse.
A living hell, they're not, dude. What's the old saying, Brandon? I think you probably heard this, even though you're a young lad. You get more with honey than you can with vinegar, right?
Yeah.
So that's where this would apply, and that goes with any law enforcement. I don't care if it's a constable, state trooper. You roll down your window, yes or no, sir. What can I do you for? And here's my stuff. I'm gonna answer any questions that you have.
Yeah, exactly. I
want to get this over and done with, and we can both go our way.
Go about our day. Yeah, exactly. Like I'll tell this story. So, for a while there, I let my inspection sticker on my truck lapse. Just just being lazy. I mean, you look at it and it's right there, and it tells you that it's out and you need to go.
It's literally 18 inches in front of your face every day.
Every day that you get in your truck, and I let it out. Like it was last. I think it was supposed to get inspected by February. Yeah, February of 2024.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're in 2025, and this was October. And I was on the phone with my mom. I was driving to work, and I was talking to her, and I was slowing down, but I pulled up on a state trooper, like just up side by side. And I'm like, oh dang! And I seen him look over at me. Not that I was speeding, but I pulled up next to him, so of course he's gonna look, and he like hits the brakes, gets behind me, turns on the lights. I was like, he saw my sticker. I just pulled over. He walks up to the window. He's like, you know why I pulled you over? I said, yes, sir. My sticker's out. I know. I need to get it done. He's like, all right, what's your information? Comes back. He goes, here's your ticket. As long as you get your sticker done, you don't have to pay the ticket. Go about your day.
Yep.
See you later. And that's all it was. But I knew I was wrong.
Yep.
And my wife been telling me, you need to get your sticker done. You need to get your sticker done. And then all that, but I had to go through it the hard way, I guess.
We all do. And I've done that more than once, more than 2 or 3, 4 times. It's like, screw that sticker, man.
Exactly. I don't want to go spend the time to go get it done, but
yep. Hey man, we work every day, all day, and it's just like, when do we have time to actually do it?
Yeah. I got to burn my lunch break to go do this.
Yep.
Or I got to try to leave work early, and then just it's not going to work out. There's always something comes up.
Yep.
But it is what it is. First world problem.
It is what it is. That's exactly right. But yeah, man, we got out of that deal, $750 a piece, and filled our freezers up. Dude, we went home all the way back to Clear Lake Shores. You know right where Clear Lake Shores? That's right down the street from Kemah.
Yeah, that's actually where
town, bro. Like, I'm gonna come see you. You were like, I'm with the family.
Yeah, that's where my in-laws live, right over there. And then, like I said, they used to live in Angleton, but my wife's family, but now they live over there in Clear Lake.
Yep.
Yeah, so we go down there. Well, we used to go down there more, of course, when we lived in College Station because it was closer. But now I think that was honestly the first time maybe it was second or third time we've been that way since we moved out here.
Yes, sir.
North of Austin, but yeah, I like that area. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It's chill, laid back. That night when we drove all the way back from South Texas with those Neil guy hanging out of the bed of the truck, bro, like we hung them up because it was like, remember that was when that
cold.
That's when that Arctic blast, snowstorm, blizzard thing came through in 95, 96, 97, whatever year it was. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was 96 or 97. I want to say 97 though. Anyway, we started hanging them up in the oak tree in Mama's front yard in Clear Lake Shores right there. Bro, hey, one officer did a drive-by on us.
Yeah. Make sure what you were doing out there in that front yard.
No. It ramped up. He rolled by. He did a drive-by. 5-10 minutes later, 4 of them roll up. 4 of them. 4 or 5, whatever it was. I think it was 4.
Yeah.
They get out, and I was just like, man, I ain't done nothing. We already got a ticket for these things. They were like, no, dude. Like, they were like, no, you're good. Like,
we just want to see what it was.
Yeah, we want to see what it is. Dude, we had somebody pull up next to us. What are those, elk?
Yeah. That's the only thing they'd seen that's that big.
Yeah, I was like, cool. I went inside and got my mom because I was living there at that time. My mom and my stepdad, and my stepdad came out because he don't play that game, like that, harassing us and all that stuff.
Yeah,
he came out and he goes, "Is there a problem, officers?" And they were like, "No, sir, Mr. Bull. Everything is good. We wanted to see these big old animals hanging up in your tree out here." So
that's funny.
He laughed, and we turned on a propane burner out there to stay warm while we were skinning them things, bro. We skinned for about 4 hours.
Oh yeah. From what I've heard, they go through some blades.
Yes. It was but man, this is all about just memories, man. Like we're none of us are perfect. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We did some wild stuff, bro. Like we had a good time back in the days, man. It's I got memories, and I'm cool.
Oh yeah.
I'm cool with that. Nobody's hurt. Nobody's been harmed. None of that. Like we were wild when it came to hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
Me and him.
I mean, that's kind of part of it. I mean, like, there's a group of guys called the Mountain Project. I don't know if you've seen them on Instagram or seen any of their videos on YouTube.
Not that I'm aware of, no, sir.
They're pretty cool. You should check them out. But they're out of Arizona, and it's a group of buddies.
Okay.
And they have a saying. It says, and it's pretty cool because they made like a little challenge coin. I actually gave it to my groomsmen, and when I had my wedding, and it says, die with memories, not dreams. So it's like you said, die with memories, not dreams. So do the things like that's why we always try to like get together and go hunting and fishing and do those kind of things.
Make them memories, man. Make as many memories you can.
Do those kind of things because you're going to be sitting there one day where you're like, man, I wish I'd have done this or I wish I'd have done that. And it's just like that's kind of one of the things we try to do with Tejas too, and like the podcast and getting people on like you and all the other guests that we've had is like just we want to push that out to where whether it's hunting, fishing, just being in the outdoors, going camping, going on a trip with family members or whoever it is, just like try to make it a priority to do those things. And have the fun and you're gonna have to come back to work. You're gonna have to do all those things or save a little bit to get it done. But like, make sure you make a priority to have those kind of memories and adventures and stuff with your family and friends. Because we all are in the rat race and we all are chasing taking care of bills and house payments and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot more things to life than that for sure.
100%. Well said, Bubba. Well said. I urge anybody that's listening to this to literally do as much as you can. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed next week or the week after. Do as much as you can, as long as it's safely and it doesn't harm other people. Just do as much as you can. Stay in the lines. Don't do like my crazy buddy. Just do as much as you can. Get those memories, man. You have to.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, not only did we get together and talk stuff about the hunting and everything, because I mean that's what we all came from. But I told you when I reached out to you that I was kind of getting into the more of the tactical side and shooting guns. Since I've been working at Silencer Shop, I've built some ARs and done some stuff like that.
You just gave me goosebumps, dude.
But I've been trying to. I got a couple guys, like one of the guys I work with, Bob. He's the head of shipping there.
Yep.
I did my concealed carry class with him, and then we did a defensive pistol class, Meagan and I, with him too. And he's a teams guy, like just one of those salt of the earth dudes, like just wants to take care of you, and he knows he really wants to help people and get them trained and help out. Like he does stuff with all the guys in shipping or anybody that we work with. He really helps them out. And I'm probably going to do some more classes with him, but I also want to venture out and do some other stuff too, and just go train with people and shoot guns. I mean, we talked about this too. Is like shooting is shooting. If you're pulling back a bow, shooting a bolt action, shooting an AR, it's all kind of it all kind of goes together and helps train hand-eye coordination, hitting a spot on the target. Like everything builds upon each other. So like when and how did you get into that? Because I mean I know it's different for a lot of people, especially like guys younger than me. It's they're getting into it because they carried these guns or shot these guns in Call of Duty and video games and that kind of stuff. For me, it's just like I know it's a tool, and I know it's a tool for a specific job that I think I should be have knowledge and be prepared to do. And I mean, you can float all around it all you want. Like we talked about earlier in Louisiana, there's problems and there's problems everywhere seem to pop up. And I as the kids say, don't want to get caught lacking. for lack of better terms, but like I want to be able to protect myself and protect my family and protect the people around me, because I know that there's evil out there.
Yep.
And to just say that it's not and live in a fantasy world is not going to work.
I did a post on this on my Instagram. I'll start this off. If you want, you can pull it up on Instagram, but I'll cliff note it. It was basically a write-up on my 2-year anniversary into this tactical gun training stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because I started in 22, but I started building out my battle belt and all that stuff prior to July of 22. And the boys over at Big Tex Ordnance, Jake, I know the guys up there, and Jake, I got with him and I was like, dude, I don't know how to put none of this crap together. He goes, bring it up. I'll help you put it together.
Yeah.
I took all my holsters, everything, battle belt, all the bells and whistles. I took it all up there with me. The malice clips, everything.
Yep.
And he helped me put it all together. And I went to my first class, and let me back up here just a second. So what got me into it was 2021, 2020, the years. That's when all the pandemic and all that stuff started going on, all the BLM, all that bull crap, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I never thought that we would see some crazy stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, the business is picking up, as old Jim Ross on WWE would say. Business is about to pick up. And I was like, I have a Glock. I have a Bushmaster AR. But do I really know how to properly run this stuff? Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. I don't know anything about zeroing a red dot, height over bore, doing work with it, right?
Yeah.
How to properly sling it, maneuver it, work it, yada, yada, yada. So, you know Colin Cottrell on Instagram?
Yeah, I do.
He's from south side of San Antonio, Somerset, Jordanton area, I think.
Yep.
That's how I came across and got into this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think he went out there and did a what do you call it? A speech or something like that, like a motivational speech or something.
Uh-huh.
Like probably at one of his men's Bible studies, I think.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. I actually ran into him a couple months ago.
Brandon, I think that's how it really started. I didn't see that. I saw a post after that where he's out there with Sean Thornton, Slick, that's his call sign, that owns Paraclete Consulting Group, and his range is Secure America Now, right there in Seguin, right off I-10.
Okay.
So he was out there doing a private class with Slick. And I was like, what is he do? Like, what is he doing there? Like, so I started digging into it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, he's out there learning how to like shoot and boot, scoot, and boogie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said, okay. I said, so if Colin is putting his stamp, seal of approval on this guy, I said, sign me up. Now, let me back up here. I didn't know that his call sign was Slick. I just heard it as Sean Thornton, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to get to that whole Slick thing. The Lord working in his mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yep.
He's a real deal. He's real. And the Lord, That man is real.
Yes, sir.
So I signed up for a class a few weeks after that month, whatever it was. I went to my first class in July of 22. Built out my battle belt. I took my pistol there, no red dot, just iron sight, blah, blah, blah. And my first class was defensive pistol vehicle class. Yeah.
Okay.
Shooting through the window, off the steering wheel, opening the car, breaching, the whole 9 yards. Getting out, exiting the car, getting to the back, the whole night. Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Whatever he told me to do, that's what I was going to do. But I was doing it at a turtle's pace, right? Because it's all straight up new to me. And then I was just like, dude, this is cool. Because I am in and out of my vehicle all day long because I do lawn and landscape. And at that point in my career, I'll go back in the field in a heartbeat. My business has got to get done. I'll go do it if it gets down to that, right?
Yeah.
I was at that point, I was in my vehicle 10, 11, 12 hours a day. So that's my office.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know how to get from here to up, no matter what it may be inside that vehicle. I need to know what I need to do when I need to do it.
Yeah.
Without flagging myself, negligent, accidental discharging into my leg or the dashboard, whatever it may be. Or even through the front windshield and hitting Brandon over there across the parking lot or something.
Yeah.
So after that class, I was like, I'm hooked. And it's all reality-based training out there, every bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he does teach fundamental classes, of course. And then you start adding on layers and layers of it through each class, right? And then it's everything. If you ain't got fundamentals, don't even think about going and doing car stuff, CQB classes, because you're not safe.
No, you're not.
You're going to shoot somebody, dude.
It's a lot different. And I try to tell people this, especially when hunting is one thing. Okay. This is it's a whole lot easier to shoot at something that's not shooting back at you, shooting back at you. But being able to defend yourself against somebody that has already made a decision that they want something from you, or they've made that decision. So in my mind, you've already signed on to whatever comes with that. You have to be able to defend yourself, and it's not just going to come to you. It's because you're good at shooting deer rifles. It's not just gonna come to you because you shoot your pistol every now and then at some bottles in the back pasture or put some targets up with some hay bales. You have to how do you shoot when your heart rate is elevated? When you've just been scared because somebody came at you? How you have to be able to work in those conditions. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to train it.
I've been there on the training fields with Slick. He put us through a final course of fire at the end of every class, and you get to see how bad you need to work on your cardio.
Mm-hmm.
I've shit the bed in many days, and this one case in point that I'm going to talk about, we ran a 100-yard course of fire. Shooters ready, stand by, and I'm lined up, and I got competition on the other side of the range. They're split. You can walk down the middle of it. You can have this side. I can have this side, right?
Yeah.
And old Junior One was over here on the right, and I'm on the left hand side. Slick's like, Solo, you ready? You gonna burn it down? Dude, and then I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. He goes, just do what I tell you to do.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, you should ready to stand by. As soon as the beep goes off, like that's go time, Bubba. Like when that buzzer goes off, that's the same thing. That bad guy walking up to you in the parking lot at the gas station.
Yeah.
If you don't react, you don't go home. And he went down, and I started to shoot 5 from standing. He's like, get down, you dummy. It's prone. I'm going to send you that clip, dude. He yells at us like I'm a liberal, bro. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
So, dude, we went through the course of fire. I did 5 from prone. He was like, don't. It was pretty fast. 5 from 100 yards, too. I was just like, and tink, 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 tink. And then I was up. And I took off to the VTAC wall, and he's like, you got to do 2 shots from 3 different ports on the VTAC wall. You know what a VTAC wall is, right?
It's like it has like kind of like the person, not the person, but it's kind of like a stair step thing.
It's got all the little SWAT square circles in it.
Yeah,
cut out of it, all that stuff.
Yeah, you can get down and move around and do that. Yeah.
It's just shooting from different angles because not everything is going to be like this. Straight, your red dot or your scope isn't going to be like this. So you got to know how to. If your gun's leaning this way, where do you hold? If it's leaning this way, where do you hold? Right? These are things that we're going to get you there. Okay.
Oh yeah. Because it's like a lot. Look, and there's a big, I guess, stigma with civilians learning this stuff. Right.
Yep.
That some people from the side of the civilian side, they're like, what do you need to learn that for? And then there's some of the military guys that didn't like it either. But it's like the last time I checked, I need to be able to defend myself. I need to, because you go there and
I'm waiting for you to say the words.
You go there, you can't rely on the police getting there to help you.
There you go. I was about to put it on a piece of paper for you.
Yeah, you can't, as much as you want to, and wish and hope and dream, but that it's just the reality of it. They're not going to be there.
No one's coming to save you, Brandon.
No
one's coming to save you, but you. You are your own first responder.
Yep.
And not only nobody's coming to save you, what if you do actually get a hole in you?
And that's another side. The med side is like it's got to be both. Like you got to be able to. I forgot who I heard say this, but you got to be able to. It's a lot better to know how to plug holes than it does to put holes in stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Because
so it's both of them.
100%. So I want to be. I want to be good at both, right? At the end of the day, I don't want to be really good at one and not so good at the other. Like I want to be equal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shooting fast is all cool, but can you plug those holes? What if that's your wife?
Yeah.
What if that's your child? What if that's your grandmother or somebody else's mother, father, grandmother, or children?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the knowledge to save that life?
At the very least, you need to know how to apply a tourniquet.
Say no more.
Very least.
Dude, you gave me goosebumps again, and I love it. So most people have no idea what a tourniquet is. 2, they damn sure don't have one in their truck. I got one in each door of my truck.
Yeah, that's better than me. I got one in my backpack in my med kit.
What if you can't get to it? But you're at the edge. You're crippled. You can't move your legs. You can reach up there and hopefully get to that door handle and open it up and reach in that door pocket and grab it out. Just something to think about, Bubba. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Just something to think about. Like, dude, I ordered a case of them things. I think 20 came in. I ordered a crap load. I got some in my wife's truck and both the kids. Yeah, like you never know. You may not even use it on yourself. You may come into an accident where somebody's just gushing.
It doesn't even have to be anything with guns or somebody attacking. It could just be somebody that gets in an accident.
An MVA, motor vehicle accident. Like, somebody's been whatever it may be, got a severed freaking arm, a leg, something. And
I'll do you one better. What are you gonna do when you're skinning an animal and hit yourself on accident?
It's a good one.
or your buddy hits himself on accident.
My dad hit me one night down in Mexico, right across it was my trigger finger. Yeah. I was like, control. I said, make a cut. Make a cut right here, but control your knife. He went, dang. I was like, I called him everything but a white man.
But it applies on a lot of things, but just training, med, learning how to use a weapon, like all of that is something that, Megan and I both, like, we want to get into. And of course we enjoy shooting. It gives us another reason to go to the range, and it gives me another challenge that I want to accomplish and get at. Cause like I want to go and shoot competitions again and do that kind of stuff too. I mean, there's avenues for it, but it also applies to everyday life. Cause like I said, I work in Austin. There's been multiple occasions at our old space that we were at where there were people in the parking lot that looked shady. There was multiple times where there was people in the parking lot trying to open people's car doors and caught doing it. Like, I've had somebody walk up while I was in a parking lot in my truck and try to open my back door. Like I was at Home Depot. So I was in Home Depot, Cedar Park, and I had made an online order, and I was pulling it up on my phone as I was walking across the parking lot. Shouldn't have been doing that. Should have had better awareness of what I was doing. And I'm noticing as I'm looking for some other stuff that I had to pick up, I keep seeing the same dude, like, coming down the same aisle that I'm on.
Yep.
I see him 3 times. I get my stuff, and the third time I'm like, okay, I see this dude. And then I go to check out, and one of the things that they didn't have in stock there. So I was like, okay, let me get this stuff. I'm going to go to my truck. I'm going to see if it's in stock, on my phone at the other Home Depot location. So get in my truck. There's a habit of me, lock my doors. I'm sitting there, truck's running. I'm looking it up on my phone, and I see this guy come from the store and walk real close to the front of my truck, to the passenger side, comes down the door. And I'm looking at him the whole time because I saw him. And he comes to my back passenger side door and tries to open it.
And
my door was locked.
You're in the driver's seat.
I'm in the driver's seat.
He clearly
he pulls on the door. My first thought is, oh, he's just a worker guy or something. He thinks. I mean, there's a bunch of Chevy trucks out here. Like, my truck's not like some rare thing, right? He wasn't paying attention. Even if he'd have opened my door, I had my ice chest in there, my seat was up, so it wouldn't be able to get in. But he starts walking away from me. This blue truck pulls out, and then he hops in the passenger seat, and they come in front of me to leave. And when I look in the driver's seat, it's the same dude that I saw 3 times in the store. I look at the license plate, and he's got Arizona license plates. And I was like, that's weird. And he's got all this construction stuff on like, it looks like somebody like a contractor that would be building a house or anybody else, but he's got Arizona license plates. And I'm like, that's a little weird. And I'm like, I wonder if he was just trying to steal my truck. I don't know for sure, right? At this point, but luckily I had situational awareness to be like, when I get in my truck, I lock my doors. Like, that's
good.
Get in,
good.
Lock my doors. That's what I do. But like, especially ever since that happened, and this is after I got my concealed carry. Like, I had my gun on me. I carry appendix. It was there. But like, it just proved to me, you got to be paying attention.
You better be paying attention. Like, these boys will slip up on you in a heartbeat.
Like they don't care. Broad daylight.
They don't care.
They
don't care.
You have to be paying attention.
You better be paying attention. That's the difference maker of going home or not.
Yeah, and like it's crazy to me. Like I see like people just like even people just like not paying attention walking across a parking lot. Not for the fact that somebody's going to rob you, but just so you don't get run over. Like you're in a space where there's other people moving around, and it's like looking at their phone. Like, just don't care. I'm like, anybody could just run up to you and just do whatever they want to, and you wouldn't even know. You can't do anything about it because you're not even paying attention.
Not even paying attention. They're up on you, and hey, true story. It happened to me a week and a half ago, north side of Houston. Crackhead black lady got up on me in a quickness.
Yeah.
I saw her 30 yards away. I go to put my backpack sprayer in the back seat on the passenger side of my truck. I open the door up. I'm kind of wedging it in there because I had the seat pulled back, to keep it from doing this. And I turn around and she's lighting me up verbally. I didn't understand a word she said, but one word. And it was Trump. Clearly she hates white men. And she was like, dude, like it gave me goosebumps, dude. Like it startled me, man. Like,
because you got there quick and you weren't expecting it,
dude. Like, she's at 30 yards, and literally in 5 seconds, she's right there, 3 feet from me, like within needle jabbing distance. Like, she could have whipped out a freaking, one of those freaking anything, and got me. And dude, I started creating. I closed the door, and I got, in between the truck and trailer because I had my landscape trailer on me, and I got some distance real quick, and I was just like, what the fuck's your problem? Blah, blah, blah. And she just kept, I don't know what I heard one word out of everything that she was hollering at me, and it was Trump.
Yeah.
Clearly she hates white men. I don't know why. I don't care who, but if it would have, I got in the truck and I called my cousin. That was the first person I called. Because he's a marshal,
Yeah.
And he goes, cuz, you did what you had to do. Like, you put distance so that way it didn't get to that point to where what if something would have happened and then I'm that guy that shoots the crackhead homeless lady in the McDonald's parking lot.
Yeah. That's one thing too. Is like you talk about as much as you're training to use that gun, you're also training to not use that gun.
Yeah.
Because
we got to start here first,
Yeah, because this isn't like I'm a badass, I carry a gun around kind of thing. Like to me, that's the last thing. Like I don't want to have to do that.
100%.
If I can make it all my days in life and never have to use that, I will die a happy man.
I am good with that, 100%, Bubba.
But if I have to, I'm sorry. Like it is what it is.
Brandon, I'm going home.
Exactly. Exactly. That is out of the question.
I'm going home, and so are the other people that are around me. Let me go back to, me and you, us like-minded people, we don't go out looking for fights. We can agree on that, right?
Yep.
We don't go out looking for it, nor do we want that. But we have the right to defend ourselves day or night, 24/7, 365. That's our God-given right. That's what that Second Amendment's for,
Yep.
We know what it's really for, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
I cherish life, yours, and anybody that's in the vicinity of me, that we're all out here trying to make it through life, working, paying our bills, doing whatever it is. What gives that person the right to come and take something from us that we're working so hard to provide for our families, pay our bills, et cetera, right?
Yep.
But we we have to defend that at some point, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, it's like you said, as much as we wish, the police and stuff would get there and it'll all be handled, and as much as we wish there weren't bad people out there that wish to do you harm for whatever reason to benefit or their life or whatever,
Yep.
It's there. As much as we wish it wasn't, and we lived in a place where none of that was around.
There is no more Happyville.
No, there's not. There isn't. And we all have to come to the realization that you don't want none of that stuff to happen, but you have to be aware and prepare for it.
That's exactly right. And
if anything, I'm just saying we're there's a thin veil to society. We all saw that during COVID, where when stuff's not on the shelves and people start doing weird things,
yes,
when they can't provide or have the things that they need,
yeah,
people do real weird things.
People do crazy things in desperate times.
Yes, sir.
That's a fact. And I think that goes for even me and you. Like, we're going to do some, if it ever comes to that, we're going to do some wild stuff to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is, but we've all worked very hard to get to where we're at in these times, and this isn't going to get any easier, just so you know.
No, it's not. And I'm gonna try and train and learn as much as I can, and hope that it's for all use and the good things where we're shooting competitions and winning medals and stuff. But like, I'm able to do other things if need be.
Yep. Because
like I said, don't want it to happen, but I don't want to be put in a situation where I could have done something about it.
Yep.
Like you said, even on the med side too, and I just have to stand by and watch to whatever happens. I mean, it's luckily like my mom works in the medical field. She's an X-ray tech, so it's like there was always like a medical thing, like being able to do certain things that was always taught to me. So I'm very appreciative of that, but I definitely want to dive into that some more and learn stuff, because it starts with buying a first aid kit and actually having the stuff, and then it morphs into using the stuff, practicing.
Yep.
Might as well just buy 3 first aid kits and just chalk the first 2 up to just figuring out what's in the packages.
For sure. Yes, exactly. No doubt, dude. No doubt on that. Exactly. There's a lot of good instructors and stuff that are out here, especially in the San Antonio area, that put on some really good, very basics type medic classes.
Yeah.
We can definitely make these things happen for you, for sure.
Oh yeah. And I'm definitely like we said, this is all a journey for me. Like, we're all the part of the podcast, the content we create and all that kind of stuff, my wife too. And it's like I said, just showing people, giving them the resources and being like, hey, this is something you can do. These are people you can reach out to, and to for you to learn as well. Because one part of it is learning it for yourself, and then the next part is passing that information along to other people. And I'm not an expert in it, but I know that I can meet the experts and then put the experts with the people that need to learn it and do it that way.
As Slick would say, we are a vessel. We go and we learn these things, and we get to maneuver around and pass it along to the next person. We're just going to just keep spreading the good word, whatever that may be, for that topic, whether it be gun training, learning about the Lord, shooting, hunting. We're all just a vessel, just passing it on to the next person, et cetera, which brings me to talking about being a vessel and the story that we were kind of chatting on the other night about me being in the gym with the young lad. Remember?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do.
I just told that story again today, man. And it just, I'm going to try to cliff note it, okay? Because I know, look, we've been on here for 2+ hours. I feel like I talked your head off, dude.
No, I enjoy it.
So I was in the gym the other day, and I noticed him. And I was like, man, I know his name starts with a J. Jonathan, Josh, Jonathan, blah blah blah. Hey man, you see Macy, my old barber? No, she moved up to the by Lake Houston area. Blah blah blah. And he's like, hey, I know that you still train or whatever. You shoot the pistols and the tactical stuff. I said, yeah, I do. And this young man just turned 21. Excuse me. I said, yeah, of course, absolutely. I said, I'm ride or die for it, dude. Like, he goes, I want to get my concealed, my CHL, concealed carry permit, whatever you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. And same thing, right, Brandon? Right?
Yep.
Okay. I said, do you own a pistol? He goes, no, sir. Very polite young man, by the way. Very polite young man, Hispanic young man. He's a barber, and he was in there working out, of course, right? I said, do you own a pistol? He goes, no, sir. I said, why not? He goes, well, I just turned 21. I was like, oh. I said, well, welcome to the 2A community. And he looked at me, and I was like, you know what the 2A means, right? No, sir. I said, I'm not even mad at you. I said, do you know what the First Amendment is? No, sir. I said, I'm not mad at you, dude. This is not your fault. It's our school system. I said, the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Second Amendment, right to bear arms. He goes, I had no clue, sir. I felt inside, I felt so ashamed for him.
Yeah.
As a young man. I didn't even get into the parenting side of it or nothing like that because we're past that point now, right? He's a young man. He's on his own.
Yeah. But he's making decisions to do something about it.
Here we go. I said, I asked him this word for word. I said, what do you think about everything going on, not just in the world, but more importantly in our country right here, right now, these days? And I said specifically with all the craziness, the violence, etc. He goes, I'm not down with it at all. He goes, it's wrong. And I said, welcome to becoming a patriot. I said, I'm going to hand you one of my Sons of Guns Liberty Constitution pamphlets, and it's got the Bill of Rights in it, the amendments, the Constitution. It's got it all in there. And he was like, he doesn't know anything about none of that, dude.
Yeah.
Brandon, it was like, man, like, I felt saddened, but I felt good because it's me.
Yeah, you have a chance to teach him and help him out.
I'm the vessel.
Yep.
So I look forward to this journey with him. And I got another, you know who I'm about to speak about, my other mini-me, Aries.
Yeah.
Because you work with him.
Yeah.
Small world, huh, brother?
It is. It really is. He hit me up the other day for one of our patches because I'm usually one that gives up the patch, whatever.
Yes, sir.
And he was like, "Hey, man, can I get one?" I was like, "Yeah, I got you." He's like, "Oh, I appreciate it, man." I was like, "Yeah, just let me know next time you come by that HQ because he works at the storefront."
Yes, sir.
And I'll get you. And he's like, "Man, I appreciate that." And I was like, "Hey, just next time you talk to Jeremy, tell him thank you." And he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I got you." But yeah, it's cool to be able to do that.
He's neglected to tell me this story.
Yeah, he hadn't told you thank you yet.
Hang on, let me write this down on the IOU pad here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But no, like I said, man, I really enjoyed talking to you tonight, and we're gonna definitely do some more episodes, and do some videos too on some of the training stuff when we get together and hunt and everything. Because it's fun for me to be able to record this stuff and film this stuff and do this and show people, because like you said, you have people that come up to you or people looking for, how do I get into this? How do I do this? And I see things that I want to change, and it's hard when you don't have somebody there, like a close family member, because for one, you have to say, hey, be humble enough to say, hey, I don't know how to do this and I'm looking for help. And to do that to a complete stranger is hard to do. Point blank, it's just hard to do.
Agreed.
But being able to just tell people like, hey, if I can help you, I'm here to do it. If I don't know the answer, I can definitely reach out to some people that I know and pass it along. Like I said, by no means am I an expert in any of this stuff. I just want to be the vessel to be able to put people, in front of different people and learn from it, because I'm going to learn along the way too.
That's what we're all here to do, is help each other out, build us up, give us that knowledge that we don't have. We're searching for the answer for whatever it may be. Hey, hold on, Brandon, I got you. Let me put you in touch with Joe Blow. He this is what he does for a living. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. And
exactly.
We're it's, at the end of the day, we're all in this together, whether we agree on it or not, but we really are.
Yes,
and
sir.
And I'm talking the whole world.
Yeah.
And they got us so divided right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Because I tell you, if somebody's in trouble, I'm not going to stop to, and I'm able to help. I'm not going to stop and ask who you voted for. I'm not going to stop and ask, what you enjoy. I'm not going to stop and ask if you're a vegan or not. Like, if you need help, you need help. And that's all that matters.
That's what we do, Brandon. That's what people like you and I do. Like, because we value and we cherish the one chance at life that we do have. Is what we do.
Yes, sir.
I hope that if you're in the same restaurant as my wife and my daughter, my son, whatever it may be, that you or somebody else is going to stand up to the bad dude that just walked in with a weapon, no matter if it's a gun or a hammer, a knife, a chainsaw, whatever it may be, and you light him up and you start saving lives. I'll forever be in debt.
Yes, sir. Same here.
That's just the way it should be, because that was to happen in front of me in the restaurant, and it's time to clock in and go to work, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm saving some people.
Yes, sir.
Or I'm going to go down the line. It's just that simple.
Yep.
So I mentioned to you earlier, and we're going to wrap this up, about the Lord putting people in your place at a certain time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Sean Thornton's call sign is Slick. And I didn't know that. Like, the very first day that I met him at that vehicle defensive pistol class, he goes, "Oh, Mike," because I before I got there, I was messaging and talking and texting with one of his cadres, Beef. Beef was Mike Rodriguez. That was one of his cadres at the time, one of his instructors. So me and him, like, we hit it off, blah, blah, blah. And so I get out there and Mike's like, "Hey, this is the boss man, Sean Thornton." And he goes, "Hey, Sean Thornton, everybody calls me Slick." And I was like, oh. And, like, I literally almost started freaking crying, dude. And I was like, "Man, you're going to make me cry." And he goes, "Why?" I said, "That was my pawpaw's call sign."
Huh.
Yeah. And I love, love, love my pawpaw and my granddaddy both. And I miss them.
Yeah.
Dude, they World War II Purple Heart recipients, the whole 9 yards. And, yeah, man, like it. So me and him have been
pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, we really have, dude. Like, we send, food porn pictures and videos to each other all the time, because we like to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey man, Slick's freaking jacked, dude. For 50, I think he just turned 55 the other week, on the 13th, actually.
Yeah.
And just jacked. Like, I'm like, dude, you are sexy for 55, bro. Dude, he's like, dude, shut up, you're too much. But anyway,
That's funny.
yeah, man, like that's that whole thing, man. Like that was for me and him to be as close as we're pretty freaking close to each other, dude. Like,
Yeah.
For that to work out that way, like that's my pawpaw's call sign. Like, what?
Yeah.
That was deep, dude. Like I think about it all the time because, hey, Slick, what are you doing? You know, whatever.
Yeah.
What's going on in the next class? I'm not gonna make it. Whatever. You know, just trying to make it all happen. You know.
Yeah.
So I think about that stuff all the time, just because
Yes, sir.
of him. You know, but it's all good, dude. Like he's good people. This is what he does for a living: is train.
Yep.
Not only law enforcement and some military people, but civilians. That's where his bread and butter is. Like training you, me, like that's what he does. And it's all reality based as well too, just so you know. But whenever you're ready, Jeremy, where do you think I should start? And we'll go from there, and we'll put together a class. We can do an ORD, open range day class. I think you'll do fine. We just got to get you a little battle belt, or you can.
Yeah, I got one. I got one put together. Yeah.
Okay.
I got went with sub second.
Okay.
And then I got that built out. Got 2 pistol mags. I still need to get a rifle mag, but two pistol mags are ready to go. Yeah,
it's easy, dude. You can grab a what's the name of them? Dude, they're just like a clip that goes right over your belt, and you just clip them on there, and you got your AR mag ready to go.
Yeah,
you need any class, as long as you got at least one, you're good to go, because you got your mag in the gun, and then you got your backup on your belt. Yeah,
reload. Yeah. Well, cool, man. We'll definitely get it put together.
It's going to be a blast, dude.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Bubba, I appreciate the opportunity again to have me on.
Yeah, dude.
Anytime. Your platform. It's been an honor. It really has.
Dude, I enjoyed every second of it. We'll do it again. Like you said, we're gonna do that range day podcast from the class or whatever for sure.
You really want to do that?
Oh yeah, I'm down. I'm 100% down. Especially to be like, if we can go through and film it and do drills and stuff, and then talk about it as we go. Oh, dude, I'm 100% down.
Getting into the shoot house, doing the CQB stuff, it's fun.
Oh yeah,
it's fun.
Oh yeah,
it's fun.
We're gonna do
it. You're about to you're about to do this. You're about to blow up. Your mind's about to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, business. Hey, JR, Jim Ross, WWE, business is about to pick up for Brandon.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, and I hope all the listeners have enjoyed this one. It was a good one, and we'll definitely be pushing it out. So check out Jeremy's page, Solo Hunter 74.
Yeah, Solo _ Hunter 74. Yeah.
Yep. And then, like you said, man, we're just trying to help people out. So if you got any questions, always hit us up in the DMs. We'll point you in the right direction. Hunting, fishing, tactical stuff, whatever it is, we'll try and help you out best you can. And we'll catch y'all next week.
Yes. Brandon, thank you so much again. And guys, girls, just real quick, men's mental health. We all got some demons, day or night. Slide in my DMs. Call me, shoot me your phone number. I don't care if it's something that you need help with from like one man to another. Hit me up, day or night. I don't care. Like if I've been there.
Yes, sir.
I've been on the edge of the cliff. It's not cool. And I think that woman laying in bed right now for yanking me away from the cliff. Okay.
Yeah.
So, thank you again. I appreciate the opportunity.
No problem, man. We'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Peace.
If you need anything, you holler at me as well, okay?
Yes, sir.
I
Sounds
appreciate
good.
it.